Okay, so I'm going to show how to fit the oscillator valve, which is going to come in a box like this. The valve fits inside this mesh casing here, so you'll have screws around the outside that all need to be taken out. So that's what it's going to be like when you receive the machine. First thing you need to do is take out the screws on the base of the valve, these 4 screws. One. Two. 3, 4. Okay, so the valve, if you look at the valve sits in like that. So you've got your hook on the left hand side, 2 filament connections and your grid connection. So it sits as we're looking at that, and your mounting holes are the centre holes. So sit that into the base like so. Just make sure that that's on the outside. So there's one bigger screw which is a hexagon, which that's for this connection. So just get all of them located first. Then you've got 3 screws that are the same, just little slotted screws, brass screws. There go out, and the other 3 connections. Make sure that all these are tight, these connections, otherwise it could cause some flashing. Back one's a bit of a pig to get to. Yeah, that one's tight. Don't over tighten them, because if you over tighten them you'll just snap the screw. Okay, so now that valve's secure in its base, you've got this string connection which connects onto the hook. If you can't get this hook on, which I've got on there reasonably easy, you've got a little screw here. You can undo the screw and that can move round. You can move round on the neck of the valve, but it should go on reasonably easy. That needs to make the switch. There's a switch at the back end of here, which when you pull the string it should make the switch. All this is an overheating switch, so you've got a solder connection here. If the valve overheats, then this hook will drop off and the switch at the back of here will then not be made, and then it pulls up an alarm on the machine. Okay, next we have the filament connections, which are on the top here. So undo the 2 screws on the top. You've got your live filament connection and your neutral, which is obviously earth. Again, don't over tighten. It's probably easier. It's 10mm spanner. Put a 10mm spanner on the bottom, and either a ratchet or a 10mm spanner at the top. Just nip them up. Don't over tighten. You don't want to damage the filament on the valve. Okay, that's it. So them 2 are tight. So the last connection is the grid connection. 7mm spanner. So your grid connection is this coil here, which will be taped on the bottom of the cavity, and this connects from this capacitor over here to the ring, so it fits there across like this. Again, be careful fitting this, especially when fitting it onto the capacitor side, because you can over tighten this connection and break off the connection in here. So just be careful when connecting this side. Don't worry. So you've got your screw goes through, then you've got a washer on that side, then the lug, and then a washer on the inside as well, just before you go on. Okay, so you have, and then connect onto your capacitor. Again, like I said, be careful with this connection. Just do not over tighten this, because it can very easily be snapped. That's it. So there you go. That's finished. Valve finished. Make sure all your screws are back on the outside panel, like so. And obviously the machine will not work unless all the outside panels are made as well, because you've got guard switches. If the guard switches aren't made, then the machine won't reset, so make sure that the outside panels fit back on as well. Okay, that's the valve fitting, that's fine.